So my fuel bill this week should be a lot more polite than probably normally would, which I'm thankful for, because I'm basically sipping diesel right now, which I'm really enjoying because I'm in the Northeast and fuel prices here are on average 50 cents to $1 more expensive for the major truck stop brands than they are in the Midwest, at least as far as I can recall from when I was heading out this way from Mississippi. So fuel prices just kind of inclined as I headed up and east through the country. But anyway, yeah, I was very surprised at how strangely passive and slow Massachusetts drivers ended up being. And I gotta be honest, not a fan. Not a fan at all. Because I do want to come back to Massachusetts as a tourist. I want to go to the Constitution. I want to go to Boston. I want to go to the Massachusetts Battleship Museum. You know, I want to go and see the different sites that Massachusetts has to offer. Because again, like I spoke in my last video, there's a lot of rich history here and a lot of Americana culture to soak up in differing capacities. A lot of Irish American influence, especially around Boston. You know, my pickup this morning in Wareham or Wareham or however you want to pronounce it, I really don't know. I've heard it both ways. I was kind of in the neighborhood of Cape Cod, and it's beautiful. I mean, where I was at wasn't exactly flush with money, it seemed like. But it was under construction and rehabilitation, so I'm sure in a year or two it's going to look amazing. But still, I mean, it's Cape Cod. There's a lot of American nautical history wrapped up in Cape Cod. A lot of big names, and I'm sure the yachting and fishing industries have come from there. I think there's the Great American, one of the Great American Yacht Races happens at Cape Cod. So there's a lot to be appreciative of there. I only got the very slightest, barest hint of an idea of what Cape Cod is like, and I liked it. I mean, it was nice. It's one of those places I would need to be able to experience in a car, or at least not a semi-truck, because maneuvering, a typical 18-wheeler through some of these areas where I was at in Wareham, just not at all suited for a semi-truck. And getting to my pickup point today, it was pretty clear to me that the broker probably did not appreciate what sort of truck was actually needed for the job. Because honestly, this job that I'm doing now, it should be done by either a basic delivery van type vehicle, a hot shotter with a toy trailer maybe, or a box truck. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's a good-ish load to get me out of Massachusetts, get me back into Pennsylvania, and start me back westward. But it's 2 skids of return material. I don't even think it's 5,000 pounds. If it's more than 3,000, I'll be very surprised. So, yeah, that's why my fuel economy is just, by comparison to normal, it's through the roof, which I'm excited for, because I fueled up yesterday morning in Pennsylvania, and I've gotten up to New Hampshire, done my delivery, and now I'm back in New York State, headed for Pennsylvania, and I'm still showing just under, according to the gauge, half a fuel load. So I'm doing real good on a fuel economy, which is really nice because a lot of grades through Massachusetts and Pennsylvania and New York. I've got the mountains of different flavors to deal with. There's the Catskills, Adirondacks, a few others I'm sure I'm either misremembering the name of or just can't think of the name of it all. Coyote. Then I think I had another load before this one that was, I'm sorry. I had 2 consecutive loads with Coyote. The cottonseed load that I had such an adventure with was also with Coyote. It didn't quite go the way I hoped it would have, but it was still a learning experience. Made money on the deal. It all worked out. It's fine. But yeah. Anyway, my next load. This is a C.H. Robinson load that I'm on right now. Oh, that's what I was talking about. My last load that I want to talk about with this load is because it's Monday, and as I alluded to at the start of the video, no one likes Monday, and unfortunately for my shipper this morning, they were not anyone who were enjoying Monday either, because I picked up from a specialty shop that was returning material to a clothing manufacturer or a clothing distributor, wholesaler of some sort. Just the usual thing, hey, we got the wrong size, wrong quantity of whatever, stuff happens. It is what it is. I mean, that's just one of those things. It happens, you deal with it, and then you move along. Okay, no muss, no fuss, stuff happens, you work through it. And then occasionally material needs to get sent back. But they didn't have a whole lot need to go back. Again, 2 skids, maybe 4,000 pounds if they put some pig iron in the bottom of it, maybe, I don't know. Which I doubt, because my suspension barely settled at all when they put the skids on the back of the trailer. I just left them in the back of the trailer because they didn't have a proper dock, because I had to get my truck into their location by going into an auto parts store parking lot and then very carefully blindside reversing through their lot to get to the cut through that went to this facility, which was part of another kind of a shopping center situation. So there wasn't a whole lot of flexibility. I had to leave room for people to get around me if they were coming through, so I couldn't just get all the way down into their quote unquote shipping and receiving area. But thankfully they had a forklift, and the gentleman I worked with there, real nice guy, understanding, very helpful. He brought the skids out to the truck with his forklift. Thankfully he had one, and he was able to get them on the truck with no problem. I just strapped them down and we're good to go there. But there was a bit of a miscommunication somehow, some way. Things just didn't get passed to his desk, or I called the wrong number trying to get a hold of someone that does shipping and receiving, and he didn't have any paperwork, any information, anything at all about the order, in order to verify, yes, these are the skids. I mean, he knew the material needed to go back because it had been set aside, it had already been loaded onto the pallets, it had been wrapped up, it was ready to go. But again, just to make sure that I's are dotted and T's are crossed, you've got to have the paperwork, you got to have pickup numbers if they're applicable, you got to have whatever, you got to have this stuff ready to go, so everyone has a clean paper trail, and there's proper documentation of a transaction, so everyone is on the same page. It's just neat. So he didn't have anything to do when it came. He didn't have any information on how to generate a bill of lading. So I told him, hey, I've got to have an actual official bill of lading that says bill of lading on it. I got to have, your shipping address. I've got to have the receiver's address. We've got to have the commodity spelled out. We've got to have the quantity. We've got to have at least an estimate of the weight, at least for some idea of accuracy in records. And he was just trying to call folks and say, okay, I need to get this bill of lading thing, because he really didn't seem to know what he was doing, because it just was not in his wheelhouse. And I'm not going to say the gentleman was, lacking in intelligence. It's just, it was not his area of expertise, and he was kind of being put on the spot by me because I happened to be the guy who called, and to get to shipping and receiving. I mean, it came to his extension somehow. I'm not sure if I just chose the wrong number for the extension, or I don't know. I mean, I may have called the wrong person entirely, but we figured it out. We got a bill of lading generated. It's all kosher, and it has all the information that I need to be valid in order to lawfully be able to transport this returning material. And, he's got that for his records, and everything's copacetic. We're good to go. But it was just one of those things where it was a Monday situation where he wasn't prepared to deal with me today, and not his fault. It just kind of fell into his lap when I called and said, said, hey, I'm coming in. I got this order to pick up. Can you help me out here? And he, in this gentleman's favor, he did rise to the occasion. He worked with me on the situation, and we got it done. So even if it wasn't quite his department or his area of expertise, he still did his very best to get things done. And then as far as I'm concerned and he's concerned, everything is where it should be. So even though it probably wasn't what he wanted to deal with today, he did a fine job making sure that, I got what I needed, and I worked with him to make sure that he had the information he needed to guarantee that his company was going to be, they had all their stuff sorted out, they're ready to rock and roll. So that'll make things easy, hopefully on the back end, and then life will be good. But anyway, that's all for now, YouTube. Thank you very much for watching. I've got to do some merging and rumbling through here on the New York turnpikes, the throughways, whatever they call them. Toll roads, I hate them. But it's the Hudson River. Isn't it pretty? I mean, it is a pretty valley. It's kind of misty, foggy. Unless Canada's on fire again, this is smoke. It's a pretty scene today. I'm hoping it's just fog, but for all I know, Canada's burning. And I'm not paying attention to the news because the news is full of crap. So, it is what it is. Anyway, again, that YouTube again. Thank you very much for watching. That's all for now.